just to midnight.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com. It's Thursday, February the 2nd, and we got some college basketball free picks for you. Three of them. Three college basketball free picks. And once again, like yesterday, I'm joined by two of the best handicappers you'll find anywhere on the internet, on the planet, as a matter of fact. And it's Jesse Shule of jesseshule.com. and Sean Higgs of picksandparleys.net. Sean, how are you?
All right. I went 3-5 in my college basketball essay. So before you get it back, oh, he's awesome. I had a losing day. What are you going to do? A couple, games go wrong late. But here in the video, how about those Gators? Under and Gators outright got it done. There.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that the undercash and Gators, that looked way too easy with Tennessee, I thought, like we talked about yesterday.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, the under was definitely to play. And I thought it would be because of, again, I'm always transparent like all of us are. I thought it would be because Tennessee held Florida in the 50s. I didn't foresee the other way around. If you look inside the numbers, Tennessee at times struggles mightily offensively as well. So that's something to keep in mind going forward, folks, when you're handicapping the Tennessee game. And if you want to hear further details, you could look at our archive from yesterday as we covered, Sean specifically covered the Tennessee and Florida game, and we added our thoughts. So again, that's why the archives are good. You could always look back at those at any time on our channel here. Jesse, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right, Ross. I'm coming off a bit of a rough day, but knocked the winning percentage down to just 64% for the year. I can probably live with that, So, we'll try to regroup for today. I put on a shirt for you guys. I don't know if you guys noticed.
I'm drinking your tears because you're only at 64%.
Yeah, there you go, folks. And Sean, by the way, is if you look at his record from this year and last year combined college basketball, he's a volume player, but he wins, and he wins at a decent percentage, and he makes a lot of money. So again, you could find Sean at picksandparleys.net. Jesse, you could find at his own website, jesseshule.com. You could find all three of us at sportscapping.com, picksandparleys.net, me and Jesse over at sportsmemo.com. And so plenty of options for you. And you could also find me at my own website, rbwins.com, where I went 2-1 yesterday in college basketball. Passed on the NBA yesterday. So since January 23rd, on a nice 19-11 run in all sports, and also college basketball 55-42 the last 97 this year. NBA on a 15-7 run. Basketball overall up $14,760 over my last 225 picks for dime players. So a lot of good things going on there for all three of us, and you know where to find us. And folks, before we get to the free picks and some other commentary, just a friendly reminder, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, take a second to do so. It costs you absolutely nothing. And some of the finest handicappers you'll find anywhere on the internet. Us three, and then you add in Doug Upstone of DocSports.com. And I don't know why you wouldn't subscribe. You're watching this video and you're interested in sports betting. So just hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified right away upon any of our Winner's Circle Sports Betting podcasts being published. And don't forget, give us a like at the end. It doesn't take much, I should say, to make us happy. A like certainly will go a long way in that regard. Jesse, any thoughts in the world of sports betting before we get to our free picks?
I think it's a bit of an interesting situation with the Warriors coming off an overtime loss, playing the second game of a back-to-back tonight. They're likely going to rest all their starters. They're getting 12 points in Denver. But the last time they rested all their starters, they shot the lights out from three-point range. They were 23 of 43 from beyond the arc and beat the Cavs in Cleveland. I don't like their chances of doing that again in Denver, but I'll have my eye on it. It's something I want to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Again, the world of the NBA, a wealth of misinformation is like I like to phrase it as these days. And Sean, we don't want to get you going on the NBA.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to comment on the NBA. I was just going to say, hey, at least we got
if you want to get Sean's blood
conference
pressure
tournaments. Yeah,
if you want to get his blood pressure up, ask him to talk about the NBA for any length of time. Anyway, Sean.
Like you'd think that it's they got Denver in a back-to-back. This is the problem. And these guys, what do they play? Like 2 games a week usually, right? I mean, they start in September. They play 82 games. I mean, how do you schedule a back-to-back on your premier channels, whether it be it's on ESPN or TNT? How do you put it where the guys aren't playing? Like this is where they should be forced to play. Oh, you're not playing? Well, we're docking you $1 million. It's just that simple. You're making $37 million. We're taking $1 million from you today. How can you not play on your TV game? If I'm a TV guy paying $1 billion, this ain't gonna fly. Same with the NFL when they have these crap Thursday night games or whatever. That's just my little rant on the way the scheduling works out. I don't like it. I don't like Thursday night NFL. Right? Oh, player safety. Yeah, let's go put guys on a short week, and it's and how do you have back? I don't understand they have back-to-backs. Now, if these guys are taking off all the time, you play 82 games, you start in September. I mean, that's like 2 games a week. I don't see how there's no way you should play a back-to-back spot.
Now you know why I don't ask Sean a lot of questions about the NBA.
It's more, I kick the players' backs in for being babies, right? I mean, it is, because that's what it is. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm old enough to remember, like, Michael Jordan and Hall of Fame guys in all-star dunk competitions and baseball home run derbies and all these contests because I got paid extra. They're going to give me an extra 20 grand. I'm going. These guys now have trainers, dietitians with them, cooks, all types of people massaging their feet, putting them in cryogenic chambers. You can't play back-to-back.
Yeah.
Sean, I remember Karl Malone playing on one leg in his final season with the Lakers in the playoffs with Shaq and Kobe, and he was the best player on the floor playing on one leg.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Change the schedule.
Okay. Enough of that. We don't want
you bring it up. We could just do a free pick for 20 minutes.
Well,
you want to get me going on NBA at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Let me get, now that your blood pressure's already up, I'm not hesitant to ask you this question. And I want to hear Jesse's remarks as well. Arian Foster comes up with these allegations yesterday that are absurd, and every conspiracy theorist in the world that has not
a losing bet
in the NFL is now convinced that everything's scripted. They practice all week and they script what's going to happen in the games. Give me a freaking break. Anyway, go ahead. Well, either one of you, jump in whenever you want.
I didn't see Arian Foster's comments, but I know he previously said some questionable things about 9/11 about 10 years ago. So I'm not surprised coming from a source like that.
Yeah, and then Damar Hamlin is also, just to let you know, he's already dead, but the Bills faked his appearance. It's going to be ludicrous, Sean.
I was going to talk about this on my show today. That's going to be my rant right out of the gate. How Arian? Yeah. Oh, they give us a script in August. Really, that's the playbook for the year, Arian. Just in case you didn't know. I mean, that's the playbook that you kind of got to get used to. They had players' playbook. Yeah, let's read that script. Hey, Hamlin, you're gonna die on the field. All right, that's bad for me, I guess. Joe Theismann, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna break your leg, Alex Smith. We're gonna break your leg, Alex Smith. You might actually die from complications. Don't worry about it. It's all right. A league that doesn't guarantee contracts for 98% of their players. A league that doesn't give health care to anybody who's playing after 2 years. Nobody's going to be running to get paid on the script. These guys would all be billionaires. Yeah, okay, it's fixed. It's fixed, everybody.
Listen, there's been plenty of documentation.
Hey, Justin Herbert, you're going to be up 30-0 on the road for your first playoff win. Then you're going to piss it away. How you feel about that? Yeah, that's a script I want to read.
Yeah, always love Sean when he gets riled up. And, anyway.
Hey, Joe Burrow, you're gonna lose on a last-second field goal again this time. It's your turn this year. Like, I mean, this is where we're going on. Like, no one tried to assassinate Tom Brady after like his third Super Bowl. Like, you know what? Screw this guy. I want my team to win. No one goes out to try to. Is that why they go with all these personal fouls at quarterbacks? Because they didn't want Tom Brady to be killed because he's the only team winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, He must have been a hell of a script when Atlanta was beating New England in Super Bowl 28-3, and they came back in the second half. This is how we're going to script it. You're going to fall apart. You're going to be humiliated, and you're going to accept it because
and then after you retire or you're just cut, you're not going to say anything, even though you're broke, even though you got no money to pay for your health care, and you're insane from getting your bell rung.
Post concussion syndromes that have cost many players their lives over the years.
That's probably what happened to Arian Foster, in fact.
I'm all for wacky.
His eggs are definitely scrambled, right, Jesse?
I get it.
It looks like it.
I get wackiness. I enjoy it.
All right. So before I start getting a million
the Titanic
comments,
didn't sink. We can go on and on. We have let's just stay with the conspiracies. Let's do conspiracies.
That's a whole other show, Sean.
This video is a conspiracy, for crying out loud. It's not us. It's not really Jesse, me, or Sean. We're all dead. Come on. Anyway,
rigged.
I'm
gonna try to be on the right side of this rigged game tonight.
Yeah, and
Somebody's gonna miss a free throw and cost me.
All right.
Rigged.
All right, so now on to the college basketball free picks that we've been advertising here, and we're finally going to get to. But hey, folks, once in a while we need to have these discussions, and hopefully you enjoy them. And when we start talking about sports betting, we want you to be a smarter sports bettor today than yesterday. Not sure how that applies to Arian Foster, but in any event, it was a topic of conversation. I'll be covering the Ohio State-Wisconsin game, Jesse on Oregon and Arizona. And Sean, we'll start with you since your blood pressure continues to be up and you're on a roll. USC and Washington State, my friend. Right now, USC is 6.5-point favorite. And the total in that game is 132.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep this, light and simple and not really go on a rant here. So, Washington State 1-6 on the road, 10-13 overall, short little line here. USC off the big UCLA win. I lean a little Washington State in the 6.5, but let's say under the 132.5 here. Based on Washington State is, again, poor road record. Obviously, you're not scoring on the road, right? You're 1-6. It means you can't score. You're not winning in games. They're 15-8. Their last 23 to the under. So I like that going forward. And also, they played on New Year's Day. It was a 10-point win, 81-71. A lot of points there at home. So USC, Ross, I was reading not the college basketball script, but previous matchups. They are 29-60 from three, Washington State versus USC from downtown. So wow. I think they're going to and that was the most points USC's given up all season, the 81. So I'm thinking they're going to kind of focus on defense, right? Obviously we see a lot of revenge type games like home court wins, team at home. It's home and home kind of series here. So you see that. So USC granted off a big win, which is kind of why I lean a little points, but I think the defense is going to come to show, right? Defense always kind of shows up. Washington State poor on the road. Give me the under 132.5.
Washington State, USC under 132.5, and solid reasoning there once again from Sean Higgs. Jesse, any thoughts on Sean's game? And also, you're going to be covering Oregon and Arizona. Arizona right now is an 8-point favorite to total 149.5. After your comments on Sean's game, you can go right into your free pick, my friend.
All right. Well, yeah, just looking at last year's games, 62-60 for USC and 63-61 for USC, winning them both, but by a combined 4 points. You kind of got to like taking the points with a Washington State team that's already got a win under their belt in this series. I wouldn't be surprised to see a close game. It's too bad that Sean didn't have the testicular fortitude to take the points in that one. But
I gave both.
There we go. You just
I gave both out.
Pandora's box.
He sounded like he was going to go that way, and then he's like,
yeah, he teased us. I know.
Because I kind of like it, but it's I could see it being like a 67-58. I could see it be like a bad low scoring where I don't get in there. Oh, it's always the worst. And both you guys know this. Like you take dogs one night and you have a losing day and you're like, you know what? I come in with 7 dogs. I lose 5 of them. You know what? Now I'm like a little scarred.
Yeah.
I know we're supposed to put it behind us, but it affects me sometimes when you lose a bunch of dogs.
We're only
You know,
human. We're only
you know?
human, my friend. Jesse, back to you. Oregon, Arizona, my friend.
I'll keep it brief, Ross, because we're running out of time. But it's a revenge game for Arizona. They lost by 19 points at Oregon earlier in the year, 87-68. And Arizona, 8-3 in the Pac-12, second in the conference, strong home record. Oregon, not so strong on the road, but they're only 7-4 in the Pac-12, just a game back in the standings. It looks like a good spot to back the home team with the revenge. I'm a guy that likes revenge as an angle, but it has to make sense. I'm looking at the previous history. Last year, Arizona won at home 84-81, a 3-point win. If you look at the last 10 head-to-head meetings, Oregon's won 8 straight up. They're 8-1 straight up in the last 9. They're 9-1 against the spread in the last 10. The number is pretty big here. Oregon's asked to cover a 9-point spread, which means in order for you to cash your ticket, they got to win by double digits. Underdogs covered in 5 of the last 6. I got to take the points just because the line's so steep.
There you go. So Jesse's taking Oregon plus the 8 at Arizona tonight. And again, Sean Higgs, he likes the USC and Washington State game to go under the total of 132. Sean, 30 seconds or less. Any comments on Jesse's game?
No, totally agree. Totally agree in the Oregon. Everything he said. You get a nice boatload of points, and Oregon plays these guys well. What are we doing here with the? I mean, it's a big number, but I know I'm taking the Ducks. I like their coach, and they're always a solid program, regardless.
Yeah,
I know they're down a little bit, but
yeah,
no, Dana's not too bad up there.
That's the only red flag I would have in taking Oregon in this situation. And I'm not saying I disagree with Jesse. It's a game I'm going to stay away from. This isn't one of Oregon's better teams we've seen over the last 5 or 6 years. So, but in any event, that is a large number. It is a conference game. And like Jesse pointed out, Oregon has played Arizona extremely tough to the tune of winning 8 of the last 9 straight up and covering 9 of the last 10 in this in-season series. I'm going to look at Wisconsin at Ohio State, guys. Ohio State right now is a 7.5-point favorite, total 132. This line jumped right off the screen at me. Why? Well, because both teams have struggled mightily of late. Wisconsin 1-6 straight up in ATS in their last 7. Ohio State 1-7 straight up in ATS in their last 8. Yet Ohio State's laying a sizable number of 7.5 with 2 teams that are pretty much struggling on equal footing right now. However, looking inside the numbers, this Wisconsin team 0-4 straight up in ATS in their last conference away game, 4 conference away games. Also 0-6 straight up in ATS in their last 6 as a dog this year. Ohio State, even though they've struggled in they still, when you look at the offensive efficiency ratings, they're still the number 10 team in the country in terms of offensive efficiency, and that's measured by how many points you score per 100 offensive possessions. So right there, they have a sizable edge against Wisconsin. Also playing at home certainly would help. And I mentioned this 7.5 and why this number jumped out at me, because if this game was played at Wisconsin, who traditionally has a strong home court, not so much this year. KenPom says that Ohio State would still be a 1-point favorite on the road. So I just think they're trying to suck you in here to take the Badgers at such a enticing number. And on the surface, when you look at Wisconsin's defensive numbers, they look very good. But folks, a lot of that has to do with the snail's pace in which they play offensively. They're number 349 in the country in terms of offensive tempo, which is extremely slow. They take up the majority of the shot clock per their offensive possessions. And last 5 games for Wisconsin, how about 55.4 points scored per game, 37% shooting, 58% from the free throw line. And Ohio State doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but they're very effective when they do. They hit 38% of their 3-point shot attempts this season, which ranks number 21 in the country. I just think this one here, I'm going to go against what the public thinking may be, or the obvious play may be, is to take the under between two teams that are, or excuse me, take the underdog between two teams that are struggling right now. I'm going the opposite way. I'm going to take Ohio State here, minus the 7.5 over Wisconsin. Your thoughts, guys?
Well, I agree with you 100%. I've got it written down. Basically, what you said, Wisconsin averaging 55.4 points per game in their last five, but Ohio State 8-2 at home. They've outscored the opposition by 20 points per game in that span. So they look more than capable of covering a 7.5 point spread against a team that struggles offensively. I agree with everything you said, Mouse.
Higgs?
Yeah. I mean, last time out, where they drop a 90 spot on Iowa here at home, and Wisconsin, you don't rebound good. You don't shoot free throws. You're shooting 41% on the year. Yeah, a little get right spot for the Buckeyes here. I know it's not football season, but they should take care of Wisconsin like if they're playing at the Horseshoe here. So lay that double digits here, because that's what you're going to need. You're going to need a 15-point to hold on in case Wisconsin gets freaky at the end there.
Yeah, and Ohio State, one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the country too, in the top 30 or so in that regard. So again, reviewing, folks, we're on Ohio State minus the 7.5 over Wisconsin. We're on Oregon plus the 8 over Arizona, and we're on USC and Washington State to go under the total of 132. Okay, we're down to the final stretch, guys. Going to ask you both where you prefer you be found, what you got going on now, what's been going on of late, and what you may have coming up. Jesse, start with you.
Okay, even after going 0-2 yesterday, I am 50-28, 64% overall this year for 14,000 units profit. You can find me at Twitter, at Jesse Schewel, at my website, jesseschewel.com. Come and visit me. You'll be glad you did.
Higgs.
Yep. Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs, 7 days a week, midday money show, 12 noon Eastern. You can find on your favorite podcast channels, and website, winner free picks and parlays. Doesn't make a difference. I'm everywhere. Just, I'm out.
You're everywhere.
It is what it is. I'm gonna today's show. I'm really, Jesse will like it. I'll be on fire this morning. I had some. You saw me. I was gonna do Arian Foster today, so I'm ready. Because I got a guy on Twitter who's like, he's always hitting me with it's rigged, it's fixed, it's this. He said this. I'm gonna lose it.
Anyway,
it's as bad as if we were doing a bad beat refund show, Ross.
Yeah,
it gets me.
Yeah, I get you. I'm with you. I have no tolerance for that. Look, it's happened at the college level in college basketball, and it's well documented. But those kids at that time, there was no NIL deals, and
they got sniffed out in the second, the Arizona State one.
Yeah,
all of a sudden kids come in, a bunch of kids in Arizona State hats and flip flops come in and start betting.
Think about it rationally, folks. These guys are making millions of dollars per year. Why would they jeopardize their career to get involved in any fixes or scripts? And as Sean alluded to, with all the injury issues that have happened in the NFL, players being affected after their career ends, some of which end up in tragic situations due to concussion syndrome. Why would they risk their health at that level so they could fix a game? It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, all right.
My take, Ross, 99.999% of the time when people say it's fixed, they're wrong. But there's that slim outlier, like one in a million.
I find 99.99% of people who claim that it's rigged are usually and mostly always losing.
Yeah, no, that's what they say when you're bitter after a loss, obviously.
Yeah.
Referees, that's why I don't like the whole replay, slow it down to like minute seconds. It's a bang play. We're humans. We make mistakes.
Absolutely.
It happens. There's a bad call sometimes. I get it. It's not like, here we go. No.
Yeah, the problem
is, I think people forget the lines are what they are. Yeah. They come up with lines, and you could throw out the percentage. They're always right around there. But, it's
Is anybody going to give any credence to the Sacramento Kings and the Lakers?
Lakers.
In the
That was
Western
pretty.
Final?
That was pretty.
Yeah, I mean,
biased here.
we're not saying that it was absolutely fixed. We're just saying that the NBA has a lean to a certain high market team,
Yes,
and they're going to get maybe the benefit of the doubt. They're not going to rig the game for them, but they're going to get more calls. Is that fair to speculate, Ross?
Yeah, well, I mean, LeBron specifically, when you're talking about the NBA, it gets a lot of calls, and the calls he doesn't get, we watch on ESPN Sports Center because he throws tantrums. So yes, I agree, Jesse.
I mean, for years it was always like, oh, it's the NBA. Everybody goes on a run, right? It's 76-42 at the half, and and then it's 98-96 with 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Like, what just happened here? The other two,
All right. So in any event, we'll be back later today. Myself and Doug Upstone will have a couple of NBA free pick winners for you on Friday. We'll be back here on this channel again tomorrow. Me and Sean will be back in the afternoon. We'll be talking college basketball and giving you a couple free picks for Saturday.
Gonzaga, St. Mary's.
Yes, some good games on Saturday. So for Jesse Shule of jesseshule.com, for Sean Higgs of picksandparleys.net, and Ross Benjamin of rbwins.com. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for viewing, folks. Take care. Good luck and God bless.